are about to enter a world of imagination. A world where battles are fought and won on grids and hex maps, whether virtually or in person. A place where heroes fight to forge a legend and leave behind a story worth telling. Spells are cast, swords clash, and even the most difficult problems can be solved with a little ingenuity and a lot of luck. So, here we respect the game. We respect where it has been, but we look forward to where we can take it together. All are welcome here, from power gamers to role players, lore geeks to home brewers. Heck, even 4E has a spot at the table. There's only one rule around here. Just play, baby. So with dice in hand and a heart longing for adventure, I invite you to come along with me as we enter into this polyhedral paradise. What is up this evening? I am your host, Jason, on Polyhedral Paradise, and today is an interesting Tuesday. We're going to get into it, but first, let's get into the library. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me say hey to chat. Great. Good evening. Good to see you. Just running a smidgen late tonight, but that's okay. Some kid stuff. Sometimes kids happen. But anyway, yeah, tonight's gonna be interesting. We had a couple things pop off that we think we need to talk about. Some interesting stuff with Dragonlance and with a new D&D book that is scheduled to come out in March that we're going to talk about. Candlekeep. That's right. Finally, a book that is not a rehash of old adventures. But we're going to get into that. So, first, first, we're coming off the back of the 24-hour stream. We're going to get into that a little bit later. If anybody wants to come on, Captain Pennsylvania, good evening. Later on tonight, if anybody wants to come on and talk about their experiences with the 24-hour stream, if they want to ask any questions, if they got anything to say, good, bad, or ugly, we're going to open up the phone lines. The phone lines are going to be available through the Discord. The link is in the chat. I think it's in the chat. Yeah. If not, I will repost it. I'm going to pin the link to the Discord at the top of the chat. If I can figure out how to do that. I'm really tech savvy around here. It's not. Okay. Thanks, Cat. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Oops. Anyway, so the link... copying it now. And let's see. And boom. Okay, so the link should be in chat now. So that's going to be the link to Discord. There's 2 new channels up at the top of Discord. It's up late, call in. There's a waiting room and on air. So if you want to call in, hop into the waiting room, and when we get a chance, I will pull you into the on air. If you come in, just make sure you mute your mic. So, happy to see everybody here on this Tuesday. So, like, the first thing, if you're new here, that we like to do a little thing called the Ravenloft Minute. So, we're gonna kick it old school today. So, let me dim the music. Most people dim the lights around here. We like to dim the music. As always, it's a hard cut. I don't have a way to fade out yet. So, tonight's Ravenloft Minute, like I said, is going to be old school. So we're going to go back to House of Strahd. House of Strahd. So this is a second edition retelling of the original Ravenloft module. But they had it updated once second edition came out. So I'm going to read you guys, while you're here, the Tome of Strahd. It goes a little something like this. Hey Lisa, good to see you. I am the ancient, I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior, I was good and just. I thundered across the land like a wrath of a just god, but the war years and the killing wore down my soul as the wind wears stone to sand. All the goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, till all I had was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia, and took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of the God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in Castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful, and I hated him for both. From the families of the valleys, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Oh, one was my name to her, elder and brother also. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words, she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name. Death. It was the death of the aged that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death, my death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made for her. I pursued her. Finally, in desperation, she flung herself from the walls of Captain Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet down into the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know of her final fate. Arrows from the castle guard pierced me to my soul, but I did not die, nor did I live. I became undead forever. I've studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is the sun and the light that I fear the most. But little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me, she taunts me, she taunts me. What will it take to bend her love to me? Now I reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead, and I sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall seal shut the walls of the stairs that none may disturb me. Count Strahd von Zarovich, Master of Barovia. Let's bring the music back up. I got chills. Oh, yes, story time. Cap, it was House of Strahd. The retelling of the original i6 Castle Ravenloft adventure, redone for 2nd edition AD&D. Produced by TSR. List price $10.95. And this was produced in 1990 Trace. Good old 93. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the maps and all that stuff, but this is like almost a direct retelling. So if you couldn't get i6, you got this, you were just as good. Hey, Callisto, good to see you. Glad you can make it. You were just in time for story time. Oh, okay, so, yeah, show notes. E flat. So, yeah, we talked about possibly calling in later if you want to. So, tomorrow night, speaking of Discord, tomorrow night, by Discord invitation only, we're going to be doing dry runs of Beat Bobby Slay, our new PvP show. But it's not going to be broadcast out to the open until it is ready to go. We want to have this thing locked down tight. Everybody's been working hard. Lisa, Wells, Steve, myself, Gray. Cap's made an appearance once or twice, I think. So we want to have it locked down before we bring it out to the mass audience, but we do need to practice it in front of a live studio on it. So if anybody's interested in participating tomorrow night around, we're going to put a link up, let everybody know. So if anybody wants to come and watch, we're going to do a private screening. Let me see if there's any business before we get into the main topic for tonight, because I don't know if anybody saw the interesting news that dropped in the past couple days. Let's see. I get the Discord link and check. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about tonight, thanks to Lisa, I investigated and took a look, and she dropped a link about a possible Dungeons & Dragons Amazon leaks upcoming Dragonlance release date for a new novel. So I was thinking, like, wait a minute, is there a outstanding lawsuit going on for quite a bit of money? I could have sworn Tracy and Laura Hickman, Weiss and Hickman were like done with D&D. I thought they were donezo. Like, you're talking severe breach of contract. There's millions on the table in this lawsuit, and yeah, nope. Come to find out, and we're gonna pull up the article. The lawsuit's been dropped. So I was like, what? All right, so for anybody interested, we're gonna get into that. Let me here we go. Yep. So this is the 11th. So not that long ago. And man, that was like bang bang news. The 11th, the lawsuit was dropped, and then today, or or yesterday at the same time, it was the new book was teased. Anyway, so let's take a look here. Dragonlance authors drop 10 million lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast. Weiss and Hickman voluntarily dismissed their case against the publisher of D&D. Now this article is from Polygon. Okay, the lawsuit was dropped before yesterday. Okay, I just saw this article. I thought that was weird. It was dated the 11th, so I'll get into it. I haven't actually read a whole lot of the article. I just skimmed it. Dragonlance co-creators Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss have voluntarily dismissed their $10 million lawsuit against Dungeons & Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast. In 2020, the pair alleged breach of contract related to the new series of novels set in their famous role-playing universe. How exactly the disagreement has been resolved is unknown. Polygon reached out to all parties for more information. Dragonlance Chronicles originated in TSR in the 1980s, with Dragons of Autumn's Twilight spawning additional books and RPG supplements set in the high fantasy world of Kryn. Shout out to the Knight of the Black Rose himself. Yeah. So if anybody knows who I'm talking about, points to you in chat. The lawsuit was dropped before yesterday. Article was ready. Thank you. Lisa, keep me straight again. The Dragonlance Chronicles. I read that part. The novels star iconic characters such as Tanis, Half-Elven, Rasslin, Flint Fireforge, and Goldmoon, all of which have been largely absent from the reinvigorated 5th edition D&D. Court documents had claimed that Hickman and Weiss were approached in 2017 by Wizards to write a new series of novels. Negotiations included a new licensing agreement between the authors and the publishers, plus the additional agreement with Del Rey Books. Novels titled Dragons of Deceit and Dragons of Fate have already been completed, with a third manuscript reportedly on the way. Now here's a tweeted picture of Tracy Hickman. This was around December 22nd, 2020. The dismissal of the case, there we go. The dismissal of the case may be a sign that whatever impediments speech impediments to the publication of these books is now cleared away. On December 22nd, just 4 days after the case was dismissed, so it had been dismissed on the 18th, okay? December 18th. I was way off. Hickman posted a picture of himself with a puckish look. Puckish. Is it? So if you ever... Centipedes. So if you ever want to see what a puckish look is, that right there is the picture of puckishness. Good old Tracy. Old puckish Tracy. His chin resting on top of a stack of 3 large binders and a set of polyhedral dice at his elbow. Contemplating the coming of happiest of New Year's, he wrote. The top of my head is... It is looking a bit puckish. Thank you. And now I'm looking a bit short. There we go. Top of my head was looking puckish. Okay, so let's see. Drop down here. There's pictures of the court documents, etc., etc. So that's good news. I didn't think Dragonlance was ever coming back, because if you looked at like what they were charging in these court cases, it was some serious breach of contractedness. It was serious. Like they supposedly they were requesting like 70, 80 like pages worth of changes, and like Tracy and Laura Hickman. I keep saying Tracy and Laura Hickman. They did because they did Ravenloft. Sorry, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman complied supposedly with all the changes that they wanted, and yet they still like canceled the novels. And like some people said that it was possibly because Wizards wanted to settle up a whole bunch of outstanding ties and contracts before a proposed sale. No word on who was going to be the buyer, but there was a thought for a while, like murmurings, that this was sort of a precursor to a sale of D&D to another company. Now, like, you almost wonder, like, was that a possibility and that fell through, or was it never that case? So, I don't know. I don't know that we'll ever know. Only time will tell if what exactly happened comes out. But we're going to we're gonna see some new Dragonlance books. Which makes me wonder if we're gonna see a new Dragonlance supplement. So let's see. That leads us right up into this little gem that was dropped by our very own Lisa in our Discord. The link to the Discord is in the chat if anybody wants to join. Right here, Dungeons and Dragons Amazon leaks upcoming Dragonlance novel release date. This article was also written on the 11th. Amazon UK has seemingly confirmed the upcoming release of a new Dragonlance novel written by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Yesterday, Amazon UK quietly put up a Dragonlance 1 page with the release date of July 29th, 2021. That's not that far off. That's not that bad. That's like months. It's like practically months. It's my son's birth month. Of course I know how many months that is. That's the 7th month. Yeah. The book will be 304 pages and will be released in paperback. No other description was given for the upcoming novel other than it was written by the Dragonlance authors, Weiss and Hickman. Dragonlance is a classic. Yeah, we already knew that. Like, let's see. Original creative. Yeah, in 2020, Newsberg to Weiss and Hammond sued. Like, okay, so, yeah, so there we have a release date. Yeah, so it says, the lawsuit stated that Weiss and Hickman had completed work on the first planned Dragonlance book and was working on a second when Wizards of the Coast informed them they would no longer accept revisions. The lawsuit was settled out of court 1 year later, resulting in a voluntary dismissal, and Weiss tweeting that exciting news would be coming. Yep. Yeah. The revival of Dragonlance also raises questions as to whether Wizards of the Coast would be updating that world for 5th edition gameplay. Last year, actor and notable Dragonlance fan Joe Manganiello, the sexiest man in D&D, myself being the first, revealed that he had 5th edition stats for Draconianus, seemingly hinting that Wizards of the Coast was working on new Dragonlance game material. Additionally, Wizards of the Coast also confirmed that they were working on revitalizing 3 classic Dungeons & Dragons campaign settings. As no new game material for Dragonlance has been released since 2008, many fans feel that the time is right for the setting to make a comeback. In the meantime, Dragons and Dungeons, formerly known as Dungeons & Dragons, is set to announce their first product on 2021 on Tuesday, January 12th. They will have additional content about that product tomorrow. And that leads us right into our next subject. But let's not skip over this first. So, let me know in chat who who would be interested in seeing a Dragonlance revival for 5th edition? I, for one, can count on one hand how many games I played in Dragonlance. And that number, I have to do this. Never played Dragonlance. And now I'm short. Really? Yes, Lisa, I never played in Dragonlance. Not that I had anything against it. It was just no, Cap, you never played in Dragonlance. I don't think. We started out in Mystara. We stayed in Mystara for the longest time. We did the Forgotten Realms. Dipped our toe into Darksun a little bit. Of course, Ravenloft. What? It's not Dragonlance. Never did Dragonlance. Lisa says it's just so popular because of the novels. Yes. Yeah, that was the way I knew it. Like, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I knew some of I knew the world of Kryn. I think I was more familiar with Greyhawk than I was Dragonlance. And I've heard about the War of the Lance and stuff like that, but I've never played it. So I'd rather see Darksun, Spelljammer, something a little more. To me, Dragonlance feels like more the same when it comes to classic medieval fantasy. I could totally be wrong. I could totally be wrong that it's not baseline medieval fantasy. That's just how I view it when I look at it. But I could be selling it short and doing a disservice to it. But but what is not baseline medieval fantasy, and which is now rapidly becoming a kitchen sink, is the Forgotten Realms. And we're gonna take a look at something that dropped today. And I started seeing things pop up for it. Got a little hint from Lisa yesterday, I think it was. It's the new book, Candlekeep Mysteries. So they gave us a release date for the next D&D book, which is going to be coming out in March. It's the great product overview, Candlekeep Mysteries. Great books hide their secrets well. An anthology of 17 mystery-themed adventures for the world's greatest role-playing game. And before I get into reading it, what it says here, I love the fact that they have an anthology adventure book that has shorter one-shots, which is what we'll get into, but it's all new material. Thank God. There's only so many retread stories I can deal with at this point. I mean, we got Tales from the Yarning Portal. As fun as it is, half of those books I already had. I know you expose them to newer people, but then you got Ghost of Saltmarsh on top of that. And Ghost of Saltmarsh is really just all of Saltmarsh's tales from Greyhawk. I think it was Greyhawk. With some new rules for ships and stuff like that. So there wasn't a whole lot new under the sun there. But this is great, because this is going to be something completely new. And I plan on doing a deep dive into it, because I've dug into some of the people involved. But we're just going to take a little look at it right now. So this is the official release on. No, I don't want cookies. I do not want cookies. Haha, there we go. An anthology of 17 mystery-themed adventures for the world's greatest role-playing game. Candlekeep attracts world scholars like a flame attracts moths. Historians, sages, and others who crave knowledge flock to this library fortress to pursue its vast collection of books scribbled into which are the answers to the mysteries that bedevil them. Most of these books contain their own mysteries, each one a doorway to adventure. Dare you cross that threshold? Candlekeep Mysteries is a collection of 17 short standalone D&D adventures designed for characters of level 1 through 16. Once again, that much maligned fourth tier of play is largely forgotten, because it is nearly impossible to create encounters for it until you get into other planes of existence. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Each adventure begins with the discovery of a book, and each book is the key to a door behind which danger and glory await. These adventures can be run as one-shot games, plugged into an existing Forgotten Realms campaign, or adapted for other campaign settings. This book includes a poster map of the library, fortress, and detailed descriptions of Candlekeep and its inhabitants. Now, here's where it gets cool. Then listen to this. Okay, there's going to be... Trinity, what's up? Good to see you, man. How are you? We're just going over a new release for D&D coming out in March. Here's some writers. Now, let me know in chat if you recognize any of these names. I think you may. Gareem Barber, Kelly Lynn D'Angelo, Allison Huang, Mark Holmes, Jennifer Kretschmer, Daniel Kwan, Adam Lee, Ari Levitch, Sarah Madsen, Christopher Perkins, Michael Pokinghorn, Timur Reham, Derek Rees, Kiana Shaw, Brandis Stoddard, Amy Vorpal, and Tony Winslow Brill. Right, Lisa says I'm a huge fan of Mark Holmes. They policed the community for this. They went out and they went out to all the sort of standouts in the D&D community and said, "Hey, submit your adventures." So this whole thing is like, I don't know. Some of these people have connections with Wizards of the Coast already, either tangentially or directly. But for the most part, it was writer submitted. They went out. I was going through a lot of these people's Twitters about the project, just doing research for the video. I thought this was really cool. They put out a call in February 20th of what is now last year for people to submit their adventures. And I think this is really great from Wizards of the Coast, where like all these people that we see through either shows or different projects have been tapped. So it's not like nameless, faceless writers at Wizards of the Coast. These anthology adventures are from people that we've seen out there. Let's see, that's a new tab. Sorry, let me find the other to look at. And this is an article that Jen Kirchmer, they talked directly to her. I believe Jen Kirchmer is she is disabled. She's in a wheelchair. So like one of the interesting things, she's looking for it as an ambulatory wheelchair user. Yes, okay, so ambulatory wheelchair user. So they really went out and cast a wide net to get a wide variety of authors for it, and really get a lot of different voices into this particular book. This is sort of the story of her story. In a private press panel earlier this week, D&D principal story designer Chris Perkins sat down with Greg Tito and 3 authors on Candlekeep Mysteries, the first new D&D book of 2021, to talk some new cool adventures we'll see within the pages. So Jen Kirchmer is one of the authors of the 17 books. She's on live streams like D&D Beyond Heroes. She's an outspoken advocate for accessibility in gaming. Her adventure is titled The Canoptic Being. Now, if anybody knows what canoptic jars are, they're jars that hold different body parts, and they were buried with mummies. Here's what they talked about with her adventure. The Canoptic Being is a short adventure. It's only about 12 pages long, and it's designed to be played in a single session. From what I get in a lot of these, or most of these, are like one-shots. One-shot format is great for throwing together a casual weeknight game session, for playing at conventions, if we ever get back there, or adapting into an ongoing story. You can drop them in and out. So a lot of fans of 5th edition are going to be really happy to that this is going to take people past the Sword Coast for once. The adventure is going to take people into the Shining South, the realm of Tashalar. For a long time, people have been saying, can we get something that's off of the Sword Coast? And this is it. Which makes me wonder where the other ones are going to take us. The Sunny Land is sandwiched between Chult to the west and the Majocracy of Halura. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. and it's known as the realms for its known across the realms for its splendid vineyards. So maybe there'll be a great deal of wine chugging competitions. Who knows? Vineyards. How I love thee. The realm is the land of many mercantile city-states, foremost of which is Tashulta. It's the setting for the one-shot of the adventure. Tashulta is built into the caldera of a great volcano, presumably dormant, that you never know what could happen if you anger the wrong fire elemental. So, I really like the sound of it. Also, like other adventures in Candlekeep Mysteries, Kretschmer Adventure starts in the hallowed halls of Candlekeep, the greatest library in the Sword Coast, or perhaps all of Faerun. Knowledge of all sorts can be found here. Finding a book with a clue is the starting point of the mystery of the Canoptic Being. So, it sounds like everything is going to flow through Candlekeep. Like, you're going to be either exploring Candlekeep or you get... do you like... Lisa says the alternate cover is so good, y'all. Do you like that? I'm not sold. I've liked some of the other alternate covers they've done. I'm not a fan of the... I know maroon and gold is a very classic look. I appreciate it, but I'm not sure I'm completely like... The center right here almost looks like an Anheuser-Busch logo, and I don't know how I feel about it. It looks like an Anheuser-Busch logo with like two trains coming off either side. So I'm not sold, but it does look nice. And Trinity says, busy listening in. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well, Trinity. I hope everything's going good with you, man. Thank you for coming by. So let's see. Gray loves the cover. She says the style's great. Its style looks like an old book that you find in a big library. That's true. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not my favorite alternate cover, but I do like it. I wonder, you know what would be nice if they had it in like a faux leather edition or a leather edition. That would be neat. That would sell it for me. I like the look of it, but if it had the texture and feel of it too, and leave it to Beetle and Grimm's. You never know. Beetle and Grimm's. Matthew Lillard will probably like poop out like a $200 cover that's red leather and gold filigree. I wouldn't put it past them. So this is Down in the Dungeon. Though Tashalar is known for its sun, its gorgeous sun-tanned people, and its shining blue waves, the mystery of the Canoptic Being takes us where the sun holds no say, deep beneath the earth. The exact details of this dungeon are unknown, but Kretschmer was clear that she went to a great deal of lengths to imagine a functioning 3D version of her dungeon, so everything fit properly together. Why go to so much detail, you may ask? As an ambulatory wheelchair user, Kretschmer says it was important to her that her dungeon was a place that she could explore. Fantastic. As such, it's filled with fantasy elevators, whether they're functioned by a pulley or magic, she didn't say, and ledges are accessible by ramps rather than by stairs. If you have a player in your gaming group who wants to play a wheelchair-using character, this is a great adventure to borrow dungeon design ideas from. So probably like I don't know if anybody saw the whole the combat wheelchair a while back. This would be a perfect adventure to use the combat wheelchair in. After all, it is a fantasy world, but if the player's fantasy is to kick butt in a wheelchair, I mean, I don't know if I agree with that last line there. But, and think about it, if we don't mention the dungeon was fully accessible here, would you ever notice that there were ramps instead of stairs? Probably not. Yeah. So that's Jen Kretschmer's little bit about her specific adventure of the Canoptic Being. And I am going to be, keep in mind, I am going to be doing a complete breakdown on this from what we've known so far. I'm pouring through people's tweets. I'm seeing what they had to say. There's a lot of interesting stuff that people are leaking out, the process by which it got made. Writing a script for that now, so hopefully that won't be out for too long. So this is the last article I'll read to you on the subject, and yeah, then we're going to talk a little bit about alignment, things you should know, and we're going to talk about alignment. Okay, so this is the last article. This is from IGN. D&D reveals new book, Candlekeep Mysteries, designed for one-shot adventures. So this is a little bit more of the same. Let me see if I can. There was an interesting bit in here. The adventures in Candlekeep include the Canoptic Being, which a book brings several puzzling organ transplants to light. Candlekeep deconstruction, in which a stolen book leads adventurers to a tower in Candlekeep that is more than what it seems. And Zirin's Zephyrin Tome, where Djinn, trapped in a book, offers a wish spell to adventurers who find a way to release him. So there's two other adventures that we've got a little bit from. One is dealing with a genie, and one is dealing with a tower that may not be what it seems. I love mystery adventures. However, Dungeon Masters will be able to drop these stories seamlessly into existing campaign. Wizards of the Coast says the book is handy for DMs who want to inject new characters, story hooks, magic items, and monsters into the game without tons of prep. Dungeons & Dragons principal story designer Chris Perkins notes that the anthology is meant to reflect the incredible creativity of the D&D community, as it features adventures written by various authors listed below. Now, we kind of already read through them, and it lists their Twitter handles. Cue the investigation checks. So what do you think? This was a shocker. I wasn't expecting to seeing this. I was personally expecting a setting book, but this is really cool. And it's like, of course we get, the last adventure we got was Icewind Dale, obviously, but this is something akin to what I thought we were gonna get back when I heard Ray Whittinger talk about taking a different direction on creating content, aimed to the more casual gamer. So this is it. If you've got casual gamers and they just want to sit down for a session, you can run these as one shots. You don't have to drop them in anything bigger. They could be nice introductory games for people, but I don't want this to be the totality of what we get quarter one, and it might be, but if it is, I'm happy with it, because it's not a retread of old adventures. It's not Magic the Gathering content. You get strung up for that one, I guess, but it's not. We just got Tasha, so we weren't getting another player supplement. So I would have liked to seen. You know what? I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty happy with it. So chat, what do you guys think? Is this any of you DMs out there? Is this something that you think you would buy and read and use? How do you feel about them crowdsourcing this type of thing? Does it give you hope as like an independent person in the world that one day that you could be tapped to write for Wizards? Because I saw that and I was like, oh man, how cool would that be to just be in the community and be part of the community and get to the point where Wizards has open submissions and you could be like, you could have your stuff published for Wizards of the Coast. And I know there's the DMs Guild, and I know you can get on there, and I know there's nothing wrong with that, but there's something about having that hardcover book with ampersand, and it's something about being published in that I think is special, regardless of how you feel about Wizards of the Coast as a company. There's something special about that, and I'd like to have that done one day, but that's just me. All right, so we're gonna take a look now. DM skill. We're going to take a look now real quick at something what you all should know about alignment. For any new people here, we picked up I think we picked up some new people over the weekend, and we did a good job at sort of bringing people along. But there's one bit of information about the game that the one bit of information I don't think we got into was alignment. So let's take a look at exactly what alignment is and what it isn't. So let's see. This is, give me 1 second here. Let me pull it up. So we've all seen the classic alignment chart. So I'm just gonna bring up this page. Where's this page? There we go. Excuse me. Everybody doing good out there tonight? Everybody doing good? Oh, Well says the logo having trains on it shows me it's a shameless book of railroading. And for that I say nay to this book. Freedom to the players! Freedom! Oh, did it have railroad on it? Sorry, I've been watching too much C-SPAN. So the 9 alignment tree system that we use nowadays. Lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good. Lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral. Lawful evil, neutral evil, and chaotic evil. Oh yeah, that one. I gotcha. So obviously, we know what good and evil are. Now, these are sort of nowadays alignment doesn't have as much oomph and meaning as it used to. There used to be specific spells like detect evil, detect good, and nowadays they detect different types of creatures more so than good and evil. So it's almost at this point been relegated to relic status as far as alignment goes. The only classes really being affected by it truly are paladin, and even then, paladins, there's evil paladins and stuff like that. So is it a relic of bygone times and not really important anymore? To a certain degree, I think that the 9 alignment tree is a relic of a past time and not necessary. But let's just take a look at what it is now and how it stands. And I'm going to propose a return to something that I think makes a little bit more sense if we're going to still use alignment. And I think it's some ways we should. So lawful good follows the rules, and it's essential to creating a consistent world for the players. Neutral good follows most of the rules, but sometimes they'll bend them for a good reason. What's important is that everyone is having fun. Chaotic good, the rules are more like guidelines in getting, and I guess this is how they affect the play at the table as well. I didn't see that part. Okay, I'll just read the first part. Lawful neutral, following the rules is essential. That's weird. True neutral. The true neutral is just going any way the wind blows. Like, I'm neutral. I'm for myself. I'll do whatever I have to do whenever I have to do it. Chaotic neutral, following the rules is tedious, but you're not actually out there to necessarily hurt people. You're just out there to be chaotic and do what you want. Lawful evil, so you'll do evil deeds, but there's still rules that you have to follow. Even if those rules are given to you by an evil creature, there's still rules that you have to follow. Neutral evil, you do evil acts, but you're not really you're not doing it just to be evil. You're just, I mostly follow the rules, but sometimes I'll bend them to kill a PC. This is weird. Chaotic evil, no rules, chaos for chaos' sake, that sort of thing. So these are fine on the surface, but yeah, I think as a player, like, it gets hard to sort of, like, make decisions based on your alignment. I think it's more of a descriptor for who your character is as a person. But once upon a time, there was not the 9 alignment tree. Initially, back in the first edition, there was simply law, chaos, and neutrality. So they left the good and evil out of it. Law meant that whatever it was, there was a set of laws that you had to live by, whether they were natural laws, laws of man, or laws of an evil god. Whatever those laws were, you had to follow them as a character. If it meant you had to do bad things, you did bad things. It's like, it was, and in the same way with chaos, it was just chaos. You do whatever you would. If that was doing good at that particular time, that's what you did. If it was evil, that's what you did. Neutrality, it was obviously, we all can conceptualize what neutral is. But it also represented something else, where you had sort of chaos represented the wilderness and the wild, and law represented civilization. So you sort of either belong to one or the other. And I think that is a system. I think that is a system we'd be better off going back to now rather than sticking to the 9 alignment tree. But that's just one DM's opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think about alignment? Any questions about anything that we talked about? You guys want to ask questions about Candlekeep? Are you interested in Candlekeep? Are you interested in reading the Dragonlance novels? At this point now, we've got probably about 12 minutes left. If anybody wants to take any phone calls, ask any questions, talk about the anything coming up, or talk about the 24-hour stream, the link in the Discord is open. We got Bronan the Barbarian in the waiting room, so I'm gonna cut this music, turn it down severely, and we're gonna bring on Bronan as our first caller in the evening. So there you go. I think Lisa, when it comes to alignment, Lisa says, I think it does more harm than good, and I don't bother giving my characters an alignment, to be honest. Yeah, I usually write down N neutral or chaotic neutral, because to me that's like that's the descriptor I like to use. So let's see. Coming on now is Bronan the Barbarian. Cap, can you hear me? Let's see. I call him Bronan the Barbarian because it says Bronan the Barbarian on his thing there. Oops. Let's see. I'm having trouble bringing Cap on. Let me give me 1 second. It's the first time I've used the waiting room type situation, so. Thinking maybe on my end. Give me 1 second here. Hey, Cap, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I got you now, buddy. How are you?
Nice. So, first off, I just want to reiterate that I am a D&D rookie, and you are throwing a lot at me right now, which is awesome, because I want to try all of this. But we have to back up a little bit, because I think the second or third month that I've been playing, you teased me with Ravenloft, and I have yet to step into this realm. What's up with that, man?
It's not for the faint of heart, and
I don't want to hear any of that. I'm ready. Bronan is ready.
Bronan's ready. I mean,
even wear boots, bro.
I mean, we can Ravenloft's fantastically deadly. It's a place where characters go to experience all number of like horrors and stuff. If you want to go there, I have no problem taking you there. I obviously have all these books sitting around, all like collecting dust, and we can do it. We can do a one shot of just Ravenloft if you want one time. You don't even have to.
Listen to me clearly. Give me Ravenloft.
You have been begging for Ravenloft for quite some time. I guess I've been a bad DM.
Horrible.
Oh man.
That's all I want. Ravenloft.
Oh, hurt my feelings now. Hurt my feelings. Oh yeah.
Maybe you'll give me Ravenloft.
I'll give you Ravenloft. I'll give you Strahd. Give you.
Are we doing this like the people are going to see this? They're going to see me dominate Ravenloft by myself?
No. We'll find a group of stalwart people who are
okay.
Curious enough about the demo playing the dragon.
Alone.
No, we'll live stream it. Wells firing heaters at me in chat. Fact check: they do not collect dust. He caresses them each night. It's true.
Actually, a real fact.
Hey, there was a time my Ravenloft books got up and kicked my wife out of bed. I woke up and I'm just right next to a pile of Ravenloft books. I don't know how that happened, and it was the best night's sleep ever.
All this good sleep, all that Ravenloft that you had, I got none of it.
Oh,
I just want a little bit.
You can have a little bit. All right. I'm sorry. I have been a little I guess it's been unfair of me to tease you with that. But who would maybe we'll do you want to do a one shot live event? We can do that. I mean, I'm sure
I'm
people out there
down.
would be interested. Um, anybody out there interested in seeing Bronan and a couple people run a singular
I will
campaign?
answer for our crew. They are interested.
They are interested. I mean, I assume so. And that's how Jason ends up on the couch for this books for the night.
Oh, they're playing. I'll make them play.
Okay. I'm glad you're enthusiastic. I feel like I created a monster.
Yes, you have. And now I need to go slay them. The Ravenlaw.
All right. Well, you want to do a prolonged campaign, or you just want to run through the original one? I'll tell you what. We'll do this. We'll run through Ravenloft to I6, and then House on Griffin Hill if you like it, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll see.
I like the way you just asked me like I knew the difference. Let's do both.
Yeah, let's do both. Yeah, no, I6 is the first Ravenloft, and a sequel was House on Griffin Hill. And then after that, they created the Ravenloft like campaign setting. So the first two, yeah. And it'll be interesting, Cap, because your first foray into Ravenloft will be my first ever. Because that was the first one I did was I6. Back in,
oh, really?
Yeah, back at the ripe old, back in 84 or 86, somewhere around there.
Good old 84.
Good old, good. Hey, 83 was a good year. We had Back to the Future. We had Reagan. I don't know. Was that good? I don't remember.
I do believe we had Doug Flutie win a Heisman and a birth of somebody very special to all of us. Good old Captain Pennsylvania.
Oh, 83 was your birth year.
Birth year. Awesome year.
Oh, congratulations.
You're all welcome, by the way.
It was a very good year. Jeez. So
all of this stuff though that you're throwing at me, I want to try it all. It doesn't have to just be Ravenloft. You opened up my mind to love this game and to create characters. So I'm out here just creating. Let's use these characters. Just throw some campaigns out. Have some fun with this.
Well, I'm definitely that thing that just came out that's coming out in March. The Candlekeep book. I'm definitely getting that, and we'll just run a train on them on the one shots, man. I mean, the way we like, for those of you who may not know and you haven't seen it, like our Monday group usually goes, well, when I got to a little earlier, we would go no less than like 5 hours. No less. So we would go for a while. So if it was one shots, we could definitely cover a lot of ground. So I don't know. I like D&D nights to go at least 3 to 5 if possible hours. 2 is just too short because you can't get enough done in 2 hours.
There's a lot going on, and it takes some time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So I heard you were making some new characters.
I've made a whole bunch of characters, but I think I got so excited on D&D Beyond that I just saw something that looked cool, and I'm like, oh, I want that. So I just threw a bunch of stuff together. So I need to actually stop like fanboying over every character I see and create something that I actually want.
Go make yourself a barbarian, a halfling barbarian, buddy.
Stop that.
You're gonna do it.
All
You're
know
gonna do it.
Not a...
Oh, but
it will never exist.
But is it though? Is it?
No. And Lisa, no. Before you even say anything in the chat, no. I changed my mind again. Halfling barbarians, disrespectful.
Captain Pennsylvania is vehemently opposed to the concept of a halfling barbarian. All you gotta be is super strong for your size and just rage. And hey, tiny people can rage too, man. Tiny people.
Look, I get it. I'm a tiny guy myself, but let's think about all the barbarians that we know personally. And the barbarians that I know, they don't accept halflings.
Trish, it was great to see you again. Thank you for coming by. I'll catch you later on. Take care. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it.
See you, Trish.
I missed a question. She said, I heard you talk about the 3 alignments before. Did you used to play that way? Yes, I used to when I first started. I just saw your question. Yeah, when I first started playing, we just played with Law, Chaos, and Neutral, and we always and for the most part we just picked Neutral, and it was never until second edition until it became a big deal. Alignment, certain spells affecting people with certain alignments, certain people having certain immunities based on alignment. And then with the advent of the paladin, who had to be lawful good, and if you didn't remain lawful good, you were punished by your god. That's when alignment became a necessity in the game, and I am like really glad they moved away from it and don't use it anymore. To answer your question, yeah. So, I mean, I don't think any of us have ever really said to somebody else, "You can't do that because that's not your alignment." I don't think any of us have said that to each other.
Yeah, but that's not realistic.
No,
you don't
it's
just
not.
go by your alignment. You kind of
No.
do a little of everything.
No, it's an albatross around your neck. It's extra weight that doesn't have to be there, and it prevents creativity and good role playing. And I don't go around thinking what my alignment is during the day at work. I mean, there's sometimes it's chaotic good, where I'll do things in a crazy way, and sometimes it's straight up like chaotic evil, where I'll steal people's lunch money and stuff. But you never know what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I get wild and crazy. I will double dip a chip quick as possible, and if that ain't chaotic evil, I don't know what is.
I will quadruple dip a chip. So I hear you.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Oh my God, man, your spit's getting spit in there. That's not cool, man. But
Oh, it's okay to double, but
yeah, you
as
can't.
soon as I go back 2 more times,
Nah, it's too much, man. That's a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far. But
all right, I'll reel it in a little bit.
yeah, just, come on, man. You gotta dial it back some. But real quick, while I got you, because we're just gonna go for a few more minutes. But did you enjoy yourself on a 24-hour stream, sir?
I enjoyed myself so much. When you first brought up the idea of doing a 24-hour stream, I was so nervous, and I'm still feeling the effects. I don't know how you are even doing this tonight,
Well,
but I had so much fun that I don't even care how tired I am. So it was just a blast. I hope everybody else had as much fun as I did, and I hope the new people that saw that want to play this game. I'm still a new guy, but please go out and play. This game is amazing.
yeah, it's what you make it, and you make it amazing, especially if you get hooked up with the right group of people. And everybody should try it at least 17 or 18 times in their life,
At least,
just like double dipping chips.
just like quadruple dipping chips.
You always gotta take it that extra mile. You always gotta take it too far. Sometimes I don't know how we hang out. Oh, I'm
Well,
just kidding, man.
It was
Just kidding.
funny you said that play 17 or 18 times because I played once and I didn't want to do it.
Mm.
So yeah, try it and find the right group, find the right DM. Luckily, I got the greatest DM of all time.
Oh,
you made this game awesome for me.
I should meet him at some point in time.
Yeah. So
No, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. That's why I like playing with newbies, because they don't know any better. Like, I fool them all.
Well, I've had bad DMs, so I know that. I know what it's
that's right.
like to have bad DMs.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Cap. You're a pleasure. You're a pleasure to play with. Pleasure to have as a friend, and I have a lot of fun playing with you. You make it easy. I can't see how anybody wouldn't enjoy having you at their table. That's for sure.
I hear you.
So.
I appreciate it.
No problem. That's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm surprised that we're speaking right now, given the train wreck that's coming this Sunday. Frankly, yeah.
It's Saturday. Saturday night.
Oh, it is Saturday, isn't it? Yeah.
Clear your schedule.
Mhm.
8:15.
Yeah. Cap and I won't be speaking from Friday till Sunday, probably.
And maybe not again until
Maybe-
Monday.
Yeah, probably not. Monday's gonna be really
Depends on
weird
how
for
bad
one of
it
us. Yeah. That's just football stuff. Yeah, nobody. I think we. Oh, cool. We're down to one viewer. That's like okay. We just nobody knows what we're talking about. But that's fine.
No, nobody has.
No. No, we're not, Lisa. We're not. We're talking. He's having my pancreas removed, and I'm mad at him for it. There's nothing to do with sports. No. We're not.
Not at all.
Nope. And we're not talking Star Wars either. So
I need to sell some things on the black market. That's all.
Yeah, it's just, anyway. But we've gone on a tangent here. We've double dipped. So, I Cap, I'm gonna get ready to let you go because I'm gonna head out of here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna get to finishing the script up for the actual video on Candlekeep. But do you have any parting words for anybody out there in D&D land?
Oh, just watch out for Bronan the Barbarian's blade, and he's got his shield.
And
That's a new thing.
And he's got his laser eyes.
I haven't used those in a while, but yeah, look out for those too.
Yeah, look out for this. All right, Cap. I love you. Love you like a brother.
Love you, bro.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out on 24-hour stream. And I'll catch you. I'll catch you later, buddy.
Definitely.
I'll probably talk to you in about an hour or so.
Sure.
All right, bud.
All
See
right,
you
man.
later. Everybody, that was Captain Pennsylvania, otherwise known as Bronan the Barbarian. From our Monday game, trying to hornswoggle me into getting into some Ravenloft. Well, guess what? Sold American. I'm gonna do it at some point. We'll do some live streaming. I'll tell you what, after live streaming the live play on the 24-hour stream, I kind of got the itch to go back to doing that. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it in front of people. Oh god, that sounded really bad. Like, I guess it is that, like, the voyeuristic side of it, like having people watch you play. And I never did that when I was younger because I was always afraid to have people watch me play. And believe it or not, that was a huge step for me to try to just, like, forget that there were people watching, and I really enjoyed it. So I want to thank everybody who watched it, and everybody who played, everybody who hang out and donated, everybody who helped us. There's an official thank you video coming for that. But I am still a little burnt. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I think we got to everything I wanted to get to. It was a little bit of a lighter show today, even though what we covered was wide and varied. We covered Candlekeep. We covered Dragonlance coming back in one form or another. Talked a little bit about alignment, how it's useful, how it's not useful, what I think a better system would be, and got a nice little call from our resident Bronan and Barbarian. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you hanging out. Tomorrow night, if anybody wants to come to a private stream for the testing of Beat Bobby Slay, check us out in the Discord. And remember, everybody, in the game of life, may you always roll with advantage, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.